If you're having a tough time talking to your teen or knowing what's going on with them following a traumatic event, you're not alone. Today here in the High Now studio, we have Dr. Shaylin Chock here from Hawai'i Pacific Health to break down how we can better communicate with our teens. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so mahalo, Doc, because what we're talking about, this is important information. So we're going to break down, let's start at the beginning with a little bit about what exactly trauma is.
Okay, so trauma is actually a psychological and emotional response to an event that is extremely stressful. It's kind of hard to define because an event that might be stressful for you or traumatic for you might not necessarily be for me. But the nice thing is, since we're talking about kids, is they're extremely resilient. It's really important to know that most kids that experience a traumatic event, not many, actually develop symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, that leads to our next question, because we got to be out on the lookout for signs that our teen has come upon something traumatic. What are signs that parents should be out on the lookout for?
So the first thing I want to remind the parents is you know your child best. As a parent, you know kind of what they're used to, what they're like, and what they do. So if you notice something that's uncharacteristic of them, that's when you want to ask. Specific symptoms, though, is you might notice that a child might withdraw from things that they usually enjoy doing. So maybe they don't want to attend their event. Maybe they're not really hanging out with their friends or even with you as a family. That's one thing that you want to look for. Another thing is if they're extremely worried or excessively worried, kind of out of proportionate to the situation. And the last is something that most people don't know is kids and teenagers kind of express sadness or stress or worry in irritability. So you might just get this kid who, is just angrily answering your questions or, responding in a way that's not like them to something that you're thinking like, you shouldn't be so upset about it. But irritability is kind of something else that you want to look for. Also, in this day and age, social media. Social media is something that has really kind of changed the way that people process things, especially with videos and pictures. Moments in time are living a lot longer, maybe, than they did in the past. How has social media impacted the effects of trauma, specifically with teens? So I don't have good news about that. So social media is actually not good for kids who are experiencing trauma. There's actually research to show that the more and more you consume, the harder it is to get back to baseline or get back to your normal. So I would say you want to try to limit exposure to that. And with your teenagers, you want to ask, what are you seeing on social media? You want to kind of help them to kind of process that information. Sometimes they can re-experience the trauma just by watching and seeing these little clips that they're seeing on social media. I would say if you can, try to limit and definitely have conversations about it. If we see a teen that maybe specifically is experiencing something following a traumatic event, what exactly is the next step, the approach that parents should take if you're looking at your child and you're noticing something's different? So the first thing you want to always do is reassure safety, reminding them that they're safe and that you as a parent are doing everything that you can to keep them safe. And if you are worried about your child, I would say have a really low threshold for actually getting that mental health support. So either an evaluation or talking to a therapist or counselor. For more information, look at hawaiipacifichealth.org.
We're going to have this whole segment up at HighNowDaily.com.